Welcome back to Finding Brigitte Jones. So I've been teasing you for a couple videos, and today we're going to figure out what this little teaser is going to end up being. So if you're interested in finding out, stay tuned. I got my crafting mat out here. That means we're gonna be making some craft. So I hope you're all excited. This is, before we start this, I want to thank Free to Fly Budgeting for coming up with the idea of I Am. I know there's been a couple of I Am videos out there, and I am a little bit late to the game. So my I Am thing is DIY. So I'm a crafty person. I think I've mentioned this a couple times on the channel. I like to make things. I like to do things. I like to sew. I like to paper craft. I like to dabble in some painting. I like to illustrate. I like to do a lot of things. So this is gonna test me because I'm gonna have to try to come up with ideas, original ideas for you guys to craft and make it so that you guys can actually do it on your own. So I think I've come up with something that is budget related, Dollar Tree friendly craft that you can do and add to your budgeting repertoire. Is that no budgeting, not stash. It's stuff you use for budgeting. How about that? Okay. So I've been teasing this little guy for a little while, and some of y'all are like, I don't know what that is. And some are like, ooh, what's that? So, are you ready? Are you ready to see what it's gonna be? You ready? Ready? Bam! That's what it is. It's a cash holder. So this cash holder can hold 1s, 5s, 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s. I don't have a spot for $2 bills, but you know, you can make do with this. And if we take all the money out, you can see that I put my name on the front, and I've marbled this. All of these supplies except for the vinyl came from Dollar Tree. Okay, so most of the tools I used, I'm going to say pretty much 90% of the tools I used in this DIY came from Dollar Tree. So if you want something that's Dollar Tree friendly, that is cheap, and something that you can customize and make your own, you can definitely go to Dollar Tree, get these supplies that I'm about to show you, and create this wonderful cash holder. And you can put your name on it, you can put your colors on it, you can have it on your desk when you do your videos, or when you're just at home cash stuffing, and know that you made this to make it your own style, your own jam, your own colors. You just customize the heck out of it, and it's yours, and you created it. So if you're wondering how we went ahead and made this, I'm going to show you the supplies. So hold on. Now let's go over the supplies, okay? So most of the supplies that I've gotten, you can get at Dollar Tree. There's maybe 1 or 2 tools that you might want to find elsewhere, but most of this is from Dollar Tree. So this is a Dollar Tree friendly project. So the things you will need. You will need 2 of these little mini pallets, these mini wooden pallets. You're going to need 2 of these, okay? You're going to need 1 pack of these craft sticks, which I call popsicle sticks, and there's 100 to a pack, so you're going to need 1 pack of those. You're going to go to the tools part of Dollar Tree. You're going to pick up some assortment of sandpaper set. This is a 24-piece set. It's a different grades of sandpaper in here, so you might want to get some of that. You're going to want a pair of cheap scissors. Don't use your good scissors for this, guys, because you're going to be cutting the wood, and the wood is pretty soft, but you know, you don't want to mess up your scissors. So I got these pair at Dollar Tree. You're going to need a ruler of some sort. So I've got a basic it was a 12-inch ruler. You can get one at Dollar Tree. I don't know if they have wooden ones, but they certainly have plastic ones, so you can get one of those. You're going to need some masking tape. You're going to need a pencil just in case. Oops. And you're going to need some glue sticks. And finally, you're going to need a glue gun. This is one of the few things I could not get at Dollar Tree. Ew, and my glue gun's off to the side, heating up for this project. But I couldn't get this at Dollar Tree. They used to sell glue guns at Dollar Tree, but I think they discontinued it because for some reason. But I know you can get a really inexpensive one at Michael's. You don't need a high-end glue gun, but you can get the glue sticks at Dollar Tree. So you might want to have some extras on hand in case you got a little baby one and you run out real quick. So, and I would suggest that you get a piece of parchment paper to store your glue gun on while it's heating up. So when the glue drips, it can be dripped on the parchment paper, and you won't be damaging your surfaces. So there you go. So I would start heating up my glue gun. We're going to put most of these supplies off to the side until we're ready for them, and we're going to get started on the project. Okay, so you're going to start with these two palette pieces right here. And you're going to start with one of the packs of the popsicle sticks that I've already opened. And we're just going to use one popsicle stick. Actually, we're going to use 3 of them for this portion of it. And we're going to use a little bit of masking tape. So we're going to put these off to the side for the moment. We're going to get out our scissors. And just so you know, word of warning, when I made the first one, although these popsicle sticks are easy to cut, they do go flying when you cut them. So I'm going to cut off the ends of these. So I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the ends, and I'm going to cut it into this little makeshift box catcher. You can see that I've put all my other popsicle sticks from my previous one in here. Whatever you have to catch your stick remains when you cut them so they don't go flying all over your home, use that. But this is what I made for me, so I won't go retrieving these months later. So we're just going to cut off the ends. And then I'm going to cut it in half. You don't have to be precise, just cut it in half. And then cut it in half again. Okay? And these two we're going to just leave intact like this. So we're going to take these two. We're going to take these 2 pieces. They don't have to be the same size, but they have to be, close to it. And just take them. Take a little piece of masking tape. Put that off to the side. Move this guy out of the way. And just take them together. Oops. Tape them together like that. Okay? Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to use it for a quick second and then get rid of it. So I like to take these. I don't know about you guys, but when I watch DIYs and they use Dollar Tree products and they don't take the labels off, it really frustrates me. So I always take the labels off of my projects. I don't know why people don't, but they don't. And I'm just like, take the label off. What the hell long does that take? I don't know. Am I weird? I could be weird. Okay, so we're going to take it, your 2 palettes, and we're going to take this guy and put it right there. Okay, you're just going to line them up like that. Move this little guy out of the way. And then we're going to move the scissors out of the way so we don't get glue all over it. And we're going to take our glue gun and put a line of glue right along here. And then place that right there. Okay? Kind of put that in place. And then we're going to do the same thing with the next one. Our glue gun right about here. Now, if you guys are not used to glue guns and you get glue on your fingers, I feel you. That's where those little silicone things come in. Like I just got glue on my fingers, and yes, it hurts. So we're going to put that right there. Ow. Okay. But I just tried the silicone fingers, and they kind of get in my way. It's okay. So now you've got your spacing on here. You're going to take this little guy out. You don't need this anymore. You can throw it away. Okay, so you sacrificed a popsicle stick for that, but it was well worth it. It served its purpose. Give that a moment to dry. Okay, and then you're going to turn this over, and this is what you got. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 slots. And you're going to take this, and you're going to put it off to the side for now. Okay? So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our popsicle sticks. Okay, take a bunch of our popsicle sticks. Get rid of that guy. And we're going to need, for this, we're going to make sure they're kind of straight, that they're not all bent and cattywampus. And you're going to take one of these. You're going to take your scissors. You're going to put these off to the side for a minute. And you're going to get your little catcher here. And we're going to cut off the ends again. And okay, and then cut it in half. Doesn't have to be perfect, just roughly in half. Okay, and that went in there. You're going to take that guy out. Oh, I had another one left over in here, so I'm going to take this one too. Okay, so you're going to do that a couple times. You're going to need 14 of these pieces. So you got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut 14 of these, and I'll be right back, and I'll show you what to do next. There we go. So you got 14 of these little short guys, and we're going to take 6 of the full ones. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. You can go with 5 or 6. I went with 6 on my original, so I'm going to go with 6 with this one. But if you want your things to be a little bit lower, you can go with 5. That would look just as good. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go with 5. Since I went with 6 on this one, I'm going to go with 5. So that means we might have to cut these down a little bit more. Yeah, we might have to cut them down anymore. So hold on, I'm going to cut them down a little bit more. Okay, so I cut these down a little bit more. Like I said, if you want to use 6, you can keep them at half. But if you want to use 5, you may want to cut them down a little bit more. Okay, you're just going to line them up here. And then you're going to put these scissors off to the side and take your glue gun. Make sure you don't get your fingers like I typically do. And then take it and just hit it mostly towards the center. But you're going to hit it in 2 places. So you're going to take 2 of these. And just hit it. And make sure you hit all the popsicle sticks, okay? So there you go. So that's 1. You're going to make 7 of these. So I'm going to go ahead and make 7 of these, and I will be right back. Okay, so the next step, we're going to put that off to there because we're going to use it in a minute, is mine on, if you notice, on mine, this measures about 4 inches, okay? That's how it's gonna be a little bit lower, but it measures about 4 inches from here to here. So we're gonna go ahead and measure that and mark it off. We're gonna do 1 and measure it. And we're gonna get my ruler out and my pencil. My ruler and my pencil. Actually, what we're gonna do is go ahead and create a line. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna create a line. This is a little bit off, and make it so the line is actually visible. Okay, create a line, use our little catcher here, and just cut. Okay, then we're going to measure over 4 inches, and then cut again, make another line. So that's the easy way to do it. Okay, so we're going to measure over 4 inches and make another line, pencil line, 4 inches, make another pencil line, and that's what we're going to cut. I mean, you can make it a little bit less than 4 inches, but I wouldn't go too much less than 4 inches. And we're just going to cut these guys off. So now you have a perfect square, and that's why I put these more in the center than off to the side, so you wouldn't be cutting into these guys, okay? So from here, you don't need your ruler anymore. You're going to measure all the rest of them so they all line up. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will come back and show you them all cut. Okay, so we have them all cut down. Now what you're going to want to do is go ahead and give them a good sanding because they have some raw edges here. So you just need to get rid of some of the rough edges. So some of the stray bits. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and sand all of these down. Give them a little bit of smoothness and get rid of some of these stray bits. And we will come back. Okay, so now we have our dividers. We're going to kind of roughly and see, we're going to look at them roughly from the side and see if they're pretty much in alignment. I'm comfortable with this. This doesn't have to be perfect, guys. This is crafting. Crafting's not perfect. So if they're not perfectly aligned, I wouldn't worry about it. As long as when you put them up, they're visually aligned, you're good to go. So there was one of the ones that I had to kind of put another piece on here because this one was loose. So if you find that when you're going through this, one of your pieces is loose, just add another little piece of popsicle stick in here, and that should fix it. Okay. Okay, so we've got our base here that we've added a couple more bracings on here, something to give these dividers a place to land on here. Okay. And we've got our 7 dividers. So what I would do at this point is go ahead and kind of retrofit these dividers in without gluing them. Just kind of put them in and see how they fit and see how they look to your naked eye. And I wouldn't worry about the pencil marks unless this is where you want to stop. These pencil marks are fine with me because I'm going to do something to them. But if this is where you want to stop, you're good with the wood look, and you don't want to do anything to it, I would stop here. This is where you can go ahead and break out your glue gun and glue these in place, and then you're done. Okay? Now, you can do a couple different things here. You can stain this with a wood stain, or you can spray paint it. You could do maybe paint a little floral design or whatever you want to do. At this point, you can let your mind go crazy. However, what I would suggest to you is I would take these out first, decorate the dividers first, unless you want a cohesive design. Then you could just put them in, glue them in, and then do it all at once. If you're doing a solid color, you can just glue them in and do it all at once. But if you want to do something a little bit more intricate and detailed, I would take these dividers out, paint them separately, and then glue them in. Because what I did with this one is I glued them in first, then I went back and I painted them. You can see there's glue right here that the paint didn't adhere to. And also, because it was hard to paint the back, I didn't paint the back, and it's a very big difference between the back and the front. The front is painted in white and the back is bare. Now, this is fine for me because I'm not that picky, but if it bothers you, I would wait and paint the individual pieces first before I glue it to the base. Okay? So, what I'm going to show you today is how to do this marbling effect. And I would suggest that you do it with the separate pieces first before you glue it into the base. So next, I'm going to show you how to do the marbling effect. Okay, now it's time to decorate. So I got this. This is called an apple barrel acrylic paint. I did not get this at Dollar Tree. However, you can get acrylic paint at Dollar Tree for $1.25, and I think the container is actually bigger than this. So check out Dollar Tree for the paints. If you want to paint this another color besides white, you can do that. They've got a bunch of different colors at Dollar Tree, so I would go check those out. I also got this little palette tray, paint tray from Dollar Tree. I think there's like 6 to a pack, so you can definitely get that out. And this sponge foam, it's foam painter, got at Dollar Tree. So we're going to start out the marbling so that the color pops. I start with a white. So we're going to shake this up, and we're just going to go ahead and go for it. This is stuck. Okay, there we go. And we're just going to put a little bit here, and I'm going to go ahead and just start painting the base. Now you may need a couple coats to do this, So just beware. This may take a couple of coats. And just go ahead and start painting. Acrylic paint dries pretty quickly, so I wouldn't, usually within 30 minutes you've got a pretty good drying paint. I'm going to let mine sit overnight because I'm just going to. But that'll leave it up to your discretion. If you come back maybe an hour or a half an hour later and it's pretty dry, you can go on to the next step. But I like to let it cure. I like to let it sit. And actually, I'm going to tell you that when I did the last one, the one that I just showed you, I used a paintbrush, and this sponge brush is working so much better at getting an even thicker coat on here. So I would strongly recommend, if you can get your hands on one of these, there's a pack of, usually they used to have a pack of sponge brushes at Dollar Tree for $1. So I would go ahead, I mean $1.25 now. I would go ahead and get a bunch pack of those and use those instead, because I like the way this is going on. So we're going to go ahead and paint this, and we'll come back. So we're done with the base, and I'm going to use one of these popsicle sticks to do a little bit of cleanup here, because I was a little messy, y'all. A little messy. Okay, like I said, you don't have to be perfect. You can do one coat or two coats. I think it actually will probably look better with two coats, so we're going to probably stop there, let it dry, and then do another coat. So we're going to start doing these guys right here. We're going to do all 7 of these. These should go a little bit quicker. And I'm going to do these, and I will bring you back. Okay, so we are back with our dried pieces. We have our base and our 7 dividers. So we're going to go ahead and put these off to the side, and I'm going to show you the tools you're going to need for the marbling technique that we're going to do on this entire cash tray. First thing you're going to need is a container. I got this at Dollar Tree. I already had it on hand, so I didn't buy it special for this project. I just had an extra on hand. But use whatever container you think will work for this project, that you don't mind putting paints and whatnots in. This is just, if you don't have anything, you could go pick up one of these at Dollar Tree. It's just one of their shoe boxes. I also have just a basic set of chopsticks that I got from Takeout. There you go. I have this scraper. It's like a paint palette scraper. I know that they have a pack of these at Dollar Tree. I didn't get mine at Dollar Tree, but if you find them, if you think you're going to use them for this project, go ahead and pick that up. If you don't want to pick that up, you can use an old gift card, or this is an old hotel key card that I had that I just never threw away. So this something that's plastic, that's a little rigid, would be good. You're also going to need, that I also got at Dollar Tree, is 1 can or 2, depending on how generous you are with your shaving cream. And this is just cheap old regular 12-ounce can of shaving cream. Get the biggest can you can find. Doesn't have to be scented. Just regular shaving cream. You're going to need a cup of water. You're going to need some paper towel. And I am using for this project what I had on hand, so I didn't go out and buy the dyes that I'm suggesting that you get. But you're going to want to use a dye. And I used to do silk painting, so I have some silk painting dyes that I have left over. These are quite expensive, and you can't find them in an ordinary store, so don't look at this and think you have to get these. These are just what I'm using because I had them on hand. What you can use in replace of these, which work just as well and are permanent, are food dyes. Also, if you find a liquid fabric dye that is inexpensive, I don't think they have them at Dollar Tree. I think they have like more of a thicker fabric paint. You don't want to use a fabric paint. You want to use something liquidy, like a dye. You'll see the consistency of this when I open it up. But you want to use something like a liquid dye that is permanent. Don't go too expensive on this, guys. Just go and get food coloring if that's what you have accessible. But like I said, I have these on hand. I didn't see the need to go out and get food coloring since I had these on hand. But you, if you don't have anything like this, should go out and get food coloring. I don't think they have that at Dollar Tree, but any grocery store should have those, okay? So let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start with our container. And this is not a new technique. This is not original to me. I just thought it'd be fun and look good for this project. This technique is all over Pinterest, and they have a lot of different versions of it. This is just something that I really like to do, and I think it's fun. And if you haven't seen it before, you're in for a treat. So we're going to start with our shaving cream. And I've learned from experience. I'm going to stand up for this so you guys I can see what you guys are seeing. And I've learned from experience that to spray at an angle. Okay, so you're going to put and spray this at an angle. Just cover, put a nice thick layer of shaving cream. This one's almost out. So I'm going to use as much of this as I can before it starts sputtering too much on me. Okay, I think I'm running out of this. We're going to open up a new container. So we're going to break out a new container of shaving cream. I bought 2 of these just to be prepared. And like I said, it doesn't sputter as much if you spray it at an angle. Okay. Okay, that should be enough. Okay. Put that off to the side. And then I'm just going to kind of give it a little swirl here to kind of even that out a little bit. Kind of push it off to the sides. Okay, there we go. Get some paper towel. Okay. Now for the color, y'all. Okay. So we're going to take, I think I'm just going to use 2 colors. Now, for the colors, when the example that I showed you, I'm going to get out, hold on. For this example that I showed you, I only used 2 colors. You can use, I would suggest using no more than 3 colors. Unless you really just want a lot of color, like maybe, I mean, actually you can use more than 3 colors, but if you're doing marbling, I wouldn't use more than 3 colors. If you're doing kind of a rainbow thingy, I would suggest that you put them in each quadrant and don't mix it too much. You'll see what I'm talking about in a moment, because the more colors you have and the more you mix it, the more you're just creating one solid color. So you want to mix it enough to create an interesting design, but not too much to create a solid color. So I used 2 colors on this, but I think you can use 1 color, or you could use up to 3 colors if you're marbling. That's my recommendation. I think what I might do is use 2 colors. So I'm going to use this gold right here. This is Aladdin yellow. And what is this? Langu blue. So I'm going to use these 2 colors right here. And I think that should make it interesting. We'll see how this looks. I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm already getting ink on myself. This is a messy project with the dyes and the shaving cream. So make sure that you're not wearing anything that you do not want to get destroyed. Okay? So it's my suggestion, word of warning to you. Okay, I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. I have an eyedropper here that I'm going to use to put the color into the shaving cream. If you're using a food coloring, they come with a little eyedropper container, so you don't need an eyedropper. But since I'm using my fabric paints and they require an eyedropper, that's what I'm using. Okay. So we're going to see how this goes. And I'm just going to start squirting color on here. I'm trying to spread it out. Just 1 drop at a time. It's good enough for each area. Okay. Put the excess back in the container. Gonna rinse my dropper out. Now, these paints are old, so I'm not as concerned. I haven't used them in a while, so I'm not as concerned about mixing colors. But, you know, if you are concerned, make sure you rinse between each color. And if you're really, to be extra cautious, maybe you might want to have more than one eyedropper. Or if you only have one eyedropper, make sure you rinse and start with the lightest color. So go from light to dark if you're really concerned about mixing colors. I'm not as concerned as I probably should be. So I'm going to go in between. Nope, a little bit more there. A little bit more. Come on. Nope. Okay. We're going to leave it at that. I think that's good enough. Rinse it out my dropper here. Okay. I'll put these lids back on because I am prone to spill things. And I do not want to get dye all over my work area. And y'all will hear me scream and cry and just become a straight fool. Okay. There we go. You can see I've already got dye all over my hands. But these are the battle scars of crafting, y'all. Okay. So, I have my color here. And the next part is the fun, creative part. So, I'm going to go diagonal. I'm just going to take it and swirl it. Okay. Now, you can add more dye if you want to, and I think I might because I'm not seeing that. Oh, wait a minute. The pattern is starting to come through a little bit. I think I'm going to add a little bit more yellow and blue here. Put this down for a moment. Get another piece of paper towel. I'm definitely cross-contaminating here. I'm going to put more yellow in here. Now, this is the fun and tricky part because I don't want to go overboard because I kind of want a certain look. But it's easy to go overboard with the amount of dye you put and the amount of swirling you do. So do it slowly. Check it out. See how you like it. Swirl a little bit more. Check it out. See how you like it. But don't go crazy with the swirling because you may end up with one solid color and that defeats the purpose. Just going to do a little bit more blue here. A little bit right there. Okay. And then we're going to swirl it again. Okay. And I think that we're going to go this way this time. We're up and down. And we're going to do diagonal. Okay, I think I'm getting to a point where I like it. I'm going to say stop. I'm going to say stop. So I think we have some interesting patterns here. I like it. I'm not going to go any further with the swirling at this point. And I'm going to start with my base. Okay? I'm going to start with the base. It's all about the base. The base. The base. Okay. And we're going to take it and we're going to put it face down and we're just going to just put it in there. Let's just go for it. Okay? And we're going to smush it down. Okay? And we're going to take our little, you can take your credit card, you take whatever to bring it up because it's going to stick. And when you bring it up, it's going to look horrible. I'm just telling you now, it's going to look horrible. Okay? Now at this point, you got shaving cream everywhere. And I'm going to take this big guy. Actually, I'm going to start with the little guy so you can see that this can be done with your credit card as well. And I'm just going to start scraping it off. Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna try to keep a hold of it so I don't throw it back into the thing. And oops, almost lost it, guys. Almost lost it. Okay. There you go. My hands are messed on the other end, but you can see what that looks like. And I think that looks really cool. I wish there was a little bit more yellow in here, but I'm actually happy with this. We're going to go with this. I'm going to finish scraping off the rest of this, and we're going to come back and let this dry, and then we're going to do the other pieces. Okay? Okay. I actually like it. There's little spots there where it didn't get, but I think that's going to be fine. Okay, so this is where we are. I put my base off to the side to go ahead and let it dry. The thing about shaving cream is once it starts to dry, it dissolves a little bit. So if you couldn't get in nooks and crannies and get all the excess shaving cream out, just let it sit off on a space paper towel or something and let it dry naturally, and that the shaving cream will eventually evaporate. So because I'm being lazy and I don't want to wash this out, I'm just going to smooth it out a little bit. And you can see the more you stir it, the more it just becomes one solid color. So, we're starting off with not a clean slate, but a somewhat flat slate. And we're going to cover it with more shaving cream. So we're going to make another layer of shaving cream. Like I said, you could clean all the shaving cream out and start from the beginning, but I'm going to skip that step. And put another layer of shaving cream on here to cover up this. And we're going to use our guy here just to kind of smooth this out a little bit. Okay, so we have our shaving cream on here. I've gotten some fresh water. I've turned out the air conditioning. Hopefully you guys can hear me better. And we're going to go back in with our dyes again. We're going to start with the blue this time. And do the same technique that we did before. I'm actually putting a little bit more dye on here. Not on purpose, but oh, okay. And then we're going to go in with the yellow. Okay. You can see some of that is kind of because I did cross-contaminate, but we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it. Okay. So now we swirl. We're swirling, and we're swirling. Okay. And I think after this, I might call it and stop here. Am I going to stop there? We're going to go one more. I think that's where I'm going to stop. Do a little bit on the sides. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop, y'all. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Okay, so put the excess paint off my hands and just start placing these puppies. 1, 2, and I'm not too concerned if they're close to each other. Actually, I think that might be a cool little effect because it may look like a continuation. So I'm just going to press these down. Okay. Oh, little bubble, little bubble, little bubble, little bubble. Okay. So now, start with the first one. Now this is where it's going to get really messy. So I'm going to push this off to the side, put this over here, and I'm going to pick up the first one. And just place it right there. And let's see. You know what? I'm going to try to, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. Because this is different from what I did the first time. Woo! Okay. We're just going to scrape this off. Put it off this side. Now that I think about it, it might be good to have an extra container that you can put the excess into it. So we got one. I'm going to take them all out first. Okay, y'all, we're in the home stretch. We have finished marbling our base and our dividers, and I think they look really cool. So I'm going to give you a close-up of what these look like, which I think looks quite cool. Pattern looks really cool. So the final step is to glue them in. So I've already laid these out, and we're just going to get to gluing. So you might want to, like I said, get some parchment paper to place your base on in case the glue drips to the bottom. But other than that, just go to town. I've already retrofitted these in, but we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and fit them in, just kind of get an idea of how they're going to fit into place. Get the spacing right. And one more. Okay. Let me not go in there. Okay, there we go. So they're fitting in there pretty well. Some of them are tipping over. That's where we're going to go ahead and glue them. So we're just going to start from the front to the back. Okay. And is my glue gun on? Is this on? Is this working? Is this on? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm going to put another glue. No, I can't put another glue stick in here. I'm just going to go. So, oops, I already dripped. But the best way to do this is to hit those little bars right there so the glue doesn't spill out. And I said to you to put this on parchment paper, but I did not do that. So, I'm going to hold it right there. And I don't have, we're going to use this. See if this, got a little bit on the front there. So actually I'm going to move this guy out of the way because I don't want to get, this is already destroyed, but this is what it was made for. And I'm going to put it on my silicone mat. Can't remember where, I think I ordered this off of Amazon, but this is basically a silicone mat used for glue guns and glues and whatnots. So here we go. So we're going to continue, just so you guys can see what I'm doing. We're going to continue to put glue in here. Yeah, I did put it a little bit, it's not as centered as I want it, but you can see right here, and you can see what it looks like. Okay, Some of the glue is a little still wet on the bottom. Now what I like to do is, I did it from the top, but I'm also going to, now I didn't do the marbling on the back. I just didn't do it on mine. You can do it on yours. I just didn't want to take the time. But if you feel it's incomplete and you don't like it, you can, I did paint the back, but I didn't marble the back. So that's up to your discretion. And so we're going to go here on the back, and I'm going to go ahead and reinforce these. So I've got some cash here. $2 bills. You got your 5s. Got your 10s. Got your 20s. 50s. And 100s. There you go. There you go. Your completed cash tray. I think it looks gorgeous. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? I think it looks great. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I think we're done. So I hope you enjoyed this. I think we came out with a very cute product. I love it. So tell me what you think down in the comments. If you have any improvements on this process, please let me know. This was like an experiment for me. It's the first time well, the second time I've done it, but first time I've ever done something like this with some Dollar Tree wood planks, and I kind of like it, and I kind of like that. So I'm always open to improve technique, ideas. If you have any ideas for decorating, just leave them down in the comments. Tell me what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed this. Take care. Bye.